World, it's the Great 32T coming to you live. Today I have another powerful guest here at the Breakthrough Conference show. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nerissa Stewart. I am a wife. I'm a mom of 4. I have the pleasure of working in corporate America. I lead a team across the West Coast region. And, really most importantly is kind of what I've been doing over the last year and a half for myself. And that is, I really took a hold of my personal health. And I actually decided to have weight loss surgery. Actually, my husband and I both had it about a week apart. And that really catapulted over 100-pound weight loss, which now has become such a pivotal part of me and my brand. I ended up starting a business called Nerissa Recharged. And that started with my ebook, Redefining Wellness, where I talk about my journey with having the gastric sleeve and really help guide people in that decision, if that's something they want to do, or just getting their health in control in another manner. And then I've also created a fitness and wellness line as well.
That is powerful. So let's get into our first breakthrough question. So what is your breakthrough experience that led you where you are today?
Wow. I mean, there's been so many, but really, it's really personal in this situation. Obviously, health and weight is very personal. But when my son was 3 going on 4, he actually, we were sitting on the floor, we were playing with cars, and he looked up at me and he said, "Mommy, you're fat." And I was just like, one, why does my son even understand like what this is? And then also, it really made me look at myself and wonder, do I have the energy to keep up with my kids? Am I doing the best thing? Am I going to live the best life that I need to live for them and be able to give all that I need to be able to give to them?
Wow, that is really, really powerful. That is really powerful. Next question I have for you. And this question here is because I am connected with a lot of different entrepreneurs, a lot of different people from around the world. And are there any challenges right now that you're looking to overcome in your business or career or life? Is there anything right now that you're looking to break through towards to push you to that next level?
I think social media can be super powerful, and I have a passion and love for it across all different platforms, but it can also be challenging in the fact that sometimes the information that you're trying to put out isn't reaching necessarily the audience that you need. And especially a platform like Instagram, where it can be based on a lot of vanity. It's sometimes hard to get important information out there. Luckily, there have been some really great platforms that have come up. Pinterest obviously is one of them. TikTok is actually one of my favorites, and you're able to really get some organic reach there. So I think probably for me, it's just continuing to grow in that influencer space and being able to grow, but also really reach my target audience in a way that matters.
And that is powerful. And at the Breakthrough Conference this January 17th, I'll be breaking down a few different ways. It's 3 categories. It's market, network, and expand. So the first, market, I realize like people in the speaking industry may have one strategy that's working for them, but I understood that different businesses may need different strategies to help them be successful. So at the Breakthrough Conference, I break down 4 different marketing strategies that I've learned from training in school and even experience what worked for me to help other people as well. Also too, for the people watching, can you please give your social media and give your website, give your business information so they can contact you?
Absolutely. You can find me at Nerissa Recharged across all platforms. So that's RISSA Recharged, RECHARGED. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and then my website is nerissarecharged.com.
Nerissa Recharge. That is interesting.
And I'm happy to share. So, obviously, when I think about Nerissa Recharged, it was creating that spark to kind of change, who I am and my life. And now I'm hoping to help people refresh themselves, refocus, and recharge.
Wow, that is incredible. Next breakthrough question. So how has this pandemic changed the way you approach your business in your industry?
Yeah, to be honest, obviously I've been on this journey personally for about 18 months. And like I said, I work in corporate America, and I travel up and down the West Coast prior to the pandemic. So really, I knew I wanted to share my story, but I didn't know exactly how I would do that or if I would have the time. I actually wrote my book in the notes section on my phone while on a plane. I think I was headed maybe to Seattle from LA. So I started writing a book in my notes section. But even though I started it, I kind of put it away for a little bit. And then, every now and then I would come back to it. But it wasn't the pandemic is actually what allowed me to get it down on paper and start designing it and figure it out, because then I was working from home, but I no longer had to travel, wasn't getting on a plane, I couldn't go anywhere. So then I literally had time to focus, figure out exactly what I wanted this to look like, and actually start talking to a graphic designer and doing all those things I needed to. And then once I figured that out and figured out what my brand would be, then I was able to move forward and create, my line and really niche down to how I needed this to happen. And I'm still work my full-time job. I have 4 kids in virtual school. They're probably on Zoom somewhere in the house right now. So I then had to really think about how I prioritize my time with the book, with the brand, and still be able to accomplish everything that I needed to. But the pandemic blessed me so much with time, focus, clarity, and actually being able to get stuff done.
That is incredible. This pandemic for a lot of people and a lot of business has been a tremendous blessing, just so they could have that time that has been taken away from doing this or doing that, to really focus on themselves and their business and their families and careers. So that's
Agreed.
Interesting.
Yeah, the world slowed down, and I share it all the time, is that really there's a couple different type of people. There's folks that have kind of been in that, woe is me mentality. And I'm not talking about anybody who have been faced with tragedy, because that's, a whole nother spectrum. But there have been folks that kind of, what am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. But then there have been folks that have been able to channel that same energy into businesses, into, growing their existing business, getting promotions. I've had folks that have been on my work team that have left and pursued new careers or, going back to school. And I think that that's great. And it's really just because people have had to stop, breathe, and think about what's really important to them.
That is powerful. Next breakthrough question here. So you kind of covered this a little bit as far as the meaning of your name, and how did you come up with the name of your business?
Yeah, so again, I wrote the book first, so that came out first, and then it was like, how do I, brand myself? I actually used to, before on social media, I sold makeup, and so my brand was You Glow Girl, and that obviously didn't fit with what I was trying to now accomplish. So I really thought about who I was, and I look different, I feel different, I have an energy that's about me that it's just completely different than what I was. People are like, oh my God, you look like you did in high school, but you're 2.0. I hear that a lot, like, oh, you're Nerissa 2.0. Like, okay. But I thought about, I'm coming up with some shirts that are coming out really soon, but I thought about like a battery, like the Energizer Bunny, right? And I thought about, being plugged in. We have to plug in all these different devices. And if you don't plug in, then your device is going to die and then the world's over, right? But thinking about what that does, it recharges you. It gets you ready for the next thing, in your life, or even just the next day or the next meeting or the next workout. And so that's really how Nerissa Recharge was born.
That is powerful. It's like you took the old you and made it to the new you, and then took it to a whole nother level with blessing others with that too. That is incredible. Next breakthrough question that I have to ask you here. So who are 3 people who inspired you to get you where you are today?
Yeah, so I would certainly say my son and all of my kids, and just wanting to be the best for them. Also, my husband. What I didn't share was probably literally a few days after that conversation, and he didn't know anything about this conversation I had with my son, but he, my husband turned to me. He goes, "We should have gastric sleeve surgery." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And he's like, I set us up a consultation. And at the time I was like, "You what? What? Okay. I mean, we can work out, we can do what we need to do," which we had done. So we weren't, I had worked out twice a day. I had done the different diets, you name it, I had done it. And I had, lost weight, but then you gain it back. It's just a never ending cycle. But he, definitely kind of started the ball rolling and kind of getting this done. And then I would say, the third person is, I didn't really tell anybody, that we were having surgery, right? I was just like, you know what, I don't want to fail. So I don't want, 100 people, or people on social media looking at me and be like, "Oh, she didn't lose any weight. That was a waste of time. That was a waste of money." So the only other person that I told personally was my best friend. And that's because she was, has always been an athlete. She was a college cheerleader. Like I knew that if this person, said, "Hey, get your butt out of bed and go work out," that she meant it, and that she was going to check in, and she did. She always has, even today, she checks in to make sure, everything's good. She's my biggest supporter. If I bring out, a new item, she's the first one to buy it. So I would say, my son / kids, my husband, and my best friend.
That is incredible. It's always good to have that foundation or that infrastructure of people in your life that will really encourage you and lift you up and, really just take you, to that next level, as far as just being more confident and, having people to love and stuff like that. So it's really powerful that you mentioned those people in your life. Another breakthrough question that I would like to ask you. So what made you enter into this industry?
Yeah, so I think, lots of people have this surgery, and I'm in several support groups with literally thousands of people across the US and in other countries as well. And not everybody turns it into a brand or get into the fitness or wellness industry. For me, it was just knowing how successful this has been, and also just being a part of these many support groups. And I mean, it's question, like literally, if I had my notifications on, there's questions coming in every single minute. And it's like, there's not enough information out there. Like literally, until you go see a surgeon or something like that, there's not a lot of people just sharing themselves openly about what it is, what the risks are, what success is, etc. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. Like, I want people to have information. I want people, because the other thing about this, there's a stigma, right? So the stigma is, one, it's surgery, and any surgery is risky. Yeah. But also there's a stigma like, oh, you know what? If you just go out and work out, if you would, push the plate away, then, you would be fine. And that's not always the case. There are people who, consistently diet, consistently work out, they're not able to lose weight, they get discouraged, they get frustrated, they have other medical issues. There are so many other factors that the outside world doesn't always consider. And I wanted people who had those questions to have a safe place that they could come, whether it's reading a book, whether it's popping into my DM, whether it's setting up a consultation with me, whatever it is, I want to give them the real deal from my experience and just be able to share. So while there's plenty of people in the fitness industry, plenty of people in the wellness industry, I'm really focused on those people that are trying to make the decision, yes or no to surgery. Why not? Is this for me or is this not for me?
That is powerful, because I can only imagine just years of stress dealing with that situation or dealing with that problem. So it's not just going to be one diet that happened overnight or just one exercise, it's just years and years of things. And that also gives people an alternative solution, because I believe in information, and it's how you use that information. And once you are blessed with that information, there is an alternative solution to the problem that you're going through. So that is really incredible, what you're doing for people, just giving them an alternative solution, to that years and years of stress or depression or anxiety or, things that they're going through in that situation. So that is interesting. Another breakthrough question I would like to ask you. So what is the hardest part for someone out there that's trying to get in this industry and maybe looking up to you and want to start their own business or start their own brand? So what is the hardest part of getting into this industry?
Yeah, I would say with fitness and wellness, sometimes people think that they have to have the perfect body already to get into it. And I wouldn't say, I'm there yet. I look 100 times better, from a vanity standpoint than I did a year ago. But I don't have abs yet. And I'm obviously, I'm a mom, too. So all of that, has something to do with your body and your body type. So a hard thing, I think, into getting into this industry is maybe thinking that you have to look perfect in order for folks to listen. And that's not necessarily the case. People are fine as long as you are giving the right information. You're continuing to share your story. You're sharing, where you came from to where you are now. And I think also being able to relate to you, like being, able to say, yeah, you know what, I'm a mom too, or I went through that as well, or you know what, she's doing exercises that I can actually do. She's not, lifting 50, 60, 100-pound weights. Like she's lifting 10, 20, and maybe I can't do 20 yet, but I can do 5. I can do, I can work my way up to 10. So I think it's truly just believing. If that's something you're passionate about, just find that tribe and that crew who want to continue to aspire. And I definitely, there's some folks that I follow that look like me or on my same journey. I follow some curvy girls that are doing, the same thing. I mean, and these girls, a lot of them can run circles around me. And then of course, I also do follow, some of the super, fit chicks as well. And you can gain something from every single one. It just depends what you're looking for and what's going to work for you.
That is powerful. That's some good wisdom right there. Some good wisdom.
And men too.
Yeah. Another quick breakthrough question that I have for you. So what is your potential client going to expect doing business with you?
I think just from a social media perspective, they're going to, see the inside, of my life. They're going to see, family stuff. They're going to see, motivational stuff. They're going to see, things that are, important to me. They're going to see some, wacky recipes and some stuff that I eat or share. They're going to get, I post workouts almost every single day. I also post, funny stuff because that's just me as well. So that's what they're going to get from a social media perspective. As a customer, if we're having a consultation, you're going to get super one-on-one attention. If you're part of one of my challenges, same thing, you're going to have complete access to me. And then as far as products that are purchased from me, you're going to get things that I use, things that I've curated or created myself. Most of my stuff is super feminine. Pink is my color. It's one of my brand colors. This is one of our items. It's a motivational water bottle. But I also try to incorporate some things that are gender neutral as well. We have this in gray because I want to make sure that my fellas are taken care of, or if you don't like pink, there's lots of people that don't like pink. I want to be able to provide things like that too, but you're going to get fast shipping. You're going to get a personalized, package that is Insta worthy, that you're going to be proud to unbox and share with your friends. Like, I get it. Like, I've followed so many other small businesses. I have friends who have small businesses, and we talk and we share with each other, and we just want to be, an inclusive community. And I want to be able to give the very best, that I can give. I want to give what I would want to receive.
That is powerful. Also, too, I'm a foodie myself. I love food. You said recipes. Is there any new recipes or any new things that I may not know? Something different as far as food? Like recipes?
So I actually do have a free cookbook. So you can get, if you go to my Instagram, you go to my link tree, I do have a free cookbook that everybody has access to. And it includes some detox teas. It includes, just the other day I shared on IG omelet muffins. So they're great for protein, but it's a great way to kind of change up how you eat your eggs. And I would say probably my favorite recipe on there, and this is one I make with my kids, is a low fat, about 100 calories a serving, dirt cake. Have you ever had dirt cake? Like the Oreos and the whipped cream and all. Yeah. So it is so good. It's a dessert, but we use all low fat ingredients, and it is amazing. So if you like Oreos, then you'll like that.
Is it on your Instagram?
Yes. So if you go to my Instagram and go to the link in my bio, you'll see the free cookbook.
And once again, for the people watching, can you please share your Instagram and how they can connect with you?
Yes, Rissa Recharged. So RISSA Recharged.
All right. I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. Also, too, another breakthrough question for you. So where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years from now?
Yeah, as a business owner and also someone that works full time, sometimes that can be interesting, right? Because you want your business to grow, but you also, have a career that you love. I've worked with the company that I'm with for 13 years, right? So I could have just as easily, I'm in the finance sector, so I could have just as easily built a brand around financial independence, financial wealth. And while I love those things and I love leading people, like, this was also, a passion for me. So it's interesting because you find yourself at a crossroads. I would say what I hope is that I can continue to do what I love in the industry that I'm in, but that my business grows, to the point where I'm here, I'm overseeing it, but I actually need to employ other people besides my kids to help me run that business and still continue to do both. That's what I hope will happen.
That's a blessing. That is a blessing. And even at the Breakthrough Conference, I teach about expanding, really getting to that next level, because me as a business owner, motivational speaker, it was so hard for me to schedule all the appointments, to do all the graphics, to upload all the social media. And now in my company, I've used virtual assistants and contracted them to be able to help me with their work. So even far as this conference here, the Breakthrough Conference show, I was able to have Jade, who is my executive assistant, set up the appointment, work within the Instagram DMs to make sure she gets my schedule together. And that's been a cost-effective way for me to even be in college to be able to just grow my business. And I'd love to share that information with you as well.
And I think automation is not a bad thing. Yeah. And a lot of the services that we use, a lot of times we're using the free version, like MailChimp, like for your email list. I've been blessed this year to grow my email list so much that just recently they were like, you can't send any more emails. You got too many people unless you sign up for XYZ. So of course, I'm not gonna, abandon this platform. I'm not gonna, lose my email list. So I'm like, all right, how much do I need to pay? And then that unlocked so many different other options that I'm like, man, I should have did this a long time ago. So depending on what some of these apps and resources are, sometimes, you need to pay. You need to pay, and it's going to give you more than you thought possible, and definitely more than like some of these free versions. So don't be afraid. Like, see what it is and see if it can actually help you.
That is some good fruit right there. I appreciate that. Next breakthrough question I would like to ask you, and also too, this is the last breakthrough question. So what is the greatest advice you can give to those looking up to you and are inspired by your career? So this may be the young lady that may have been in your shoes, say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, going through the same situation. If you could give some advice to that person or people that may be looking up to you, what would that be?
I think the advice is just do it. Just do it, sis. But be meticulous about it. Don't present it to the world yet until you feel really good about it. Grow your audience, tell your story. If you need to contract out and get, certain aspects, I'm not a graphic designer. That's not what I do. So, yes, I employed another Black female to help me create my logo, to help me create, some of my branding. I can tell my story all day long, but it needs to appeal to others. So I know this isn't necessarily a talent of mine, so I'm not afraid to contract out. I have someone that's working on shirts right now, and she's, a Black female as well. So I'm continuing to find ways to support my community while also still building, my brand and doing what I do best and leaving it up to others for what they do best. So, don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. And also, just make sure that you're continuing to be authentic. You can find me on my IG stories. I don't have on makeup. I'm not dressed up. Like, I'm, literally just being who I am. But again, when I need things to look a certain way, I'm not afraid to make a phone call.
So just to make sure those points of the advice would be to, just to make sure, is it not, what is the word? So the advice would be to not feel as though you know everything and reach out to the right resources to help you.
Yeah, and I would say for sure. And there's lots of people that are doing business courses. Obviously, you have your conference as well. Attend these courses, attend these webinars, attend these conferences so you can get those nuggets. Information can be expensive, but it could be the very thing that gets the ball rolling on what you need. And sometimes, you hit great opportunities where people, maybe they have a sale on their conference, maybe they have a sale on their course. So if you've been watching things and you've been learning from certain people and then they offer something, that might be a great opportunity for you to catapult your business. And I would say the other part to that is, again, do what you do best. And those things that you can't do, find someone where they do it best and go from there.
I think you said that very, very well. Also, too, I just want to say thank you for all the people watching. Could you please give your Instagram information one more time, just so they know where to find you?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok at Nerissa Recharged. And my website is NerissaRecharged.com. Check out my website. My entire story is there. That's where you can grab the book. That's where you can grab different products as well.
Well, I personally want to thank you so much, Nerissa, for your time and just sharing your breakthrough experience. My faith, I hope that this video touches hundreds of people, thousands of people that may be going through different situations, whether it's weight loss or fitness or even trying to start their business. May your light continue to inspire and encourage several men and women around the globe. And I just want to say thank you so much for attending the Breakthrough Conference. And I would love to have you at the Breakthrough Conference when we have it in January as well.
I would love to be there as well, Raymond. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. My name is Ray McLeod, the Great 32T, and this is the Breakthrough Conference Show.